Alright, so doing another test today, and hopefully there's nothing incriminating on here, but what I'm planning on doing is basically seeing if we can get a Flutter app deployed to an iOS simulator. So I've set up the Android app and it works, but I haven't got the iOS version working, and the reason is I need to update Firebase for the iOS app, and then also take a config file from Firebase and put it in the iOS project. So let's see if we can do that. I'm following a codelab to do this. So let's get to the codelab for this activity. We're making an app called Baby Names. So let's see. I think it was one of the more recent ones, so let's click Recent. I think it's part 2. Great hand. So the question then is, where did I get the baby names okay, here it is. Firebase for Flutter. So let's open up our baby names app, which we do not have on this computer. So that's annoying. So we'll have to get that. So let's go over to GitHub and let's grab our baby names project. Let's see, Flutter. Maybe we have it in here and we don't. So let me grab the repo here. Flutter, I think I named it Flutter Playground. That's horrible. And there it is. So there we go. Let's paste it. Already exists, so I did have it. I just didn't realize that it was called Flutter Playground. So here we go. This is the last. That's why you should name your projects well. Okay, so we've got the majority of the Flutter for Firebase app done. And what we can do is we can run it inside an Android emulator. And we can go up here and launch an emulator. So let's see if it launches. It doesn't like to launch from that. But what we can do is we can go, no, we're not going to open up this. This is a work project. Sorry about that. We'll open up a project that I was following on caster.io. It's a free course on the MVVM architecture. So let's see if we can launch our emulator from here. And then deploy it from the Flutter version, from the Flutter IDE, from Android Studio running a Flutter project. Okay, so now our emulator is started. And this is an older Flutter example project that I did from the code labs that you saw earlier. And this one basically generates startup names by combining 2 random words. So let's go back to Flutter Playground. It found the emulator that we just launched. Now we can close this project. And let's try to deploy this app just to show that it works on the Android emulator. ADB not responding. That's not good. We'll try one more time. One of the things you can do is if you're having issues with Flutter, is you can run something called Flutter Doctor. So I'm going to go to my Flutter directory, and then inside that go to bin, and then I'm just going to run Flutter Doctor. It says command not found, but we can do this. And just make sure that our Flutter install is healthy. Okay, so it says we have the most up-to-date Flutter running the beta. So that all looks good. We'll let that run in the background. And while that's running, we'll go back over to this Firebase for Flutter codelab and look at the instructions for configuring Firebase for iOS. So it says step 1 in the Firebase console, go to Project Overview, click Add Firebase to your iOS app. Yes, and Firebase is actually working in Firefox today, so that's great news. So we'll go to Project Overview, it's already here. It must be in Project Settings in. We need to add an app, add Firebase to your iOS app, and then we need to get the bundle ID, which you will determine in the following 2 steps. In a terminal, go to the top level directory of your Flutter app and run the command open iOS runner XC workspace. So we've got Flutter basically trying to install the Android version now. So let's go over to our terminal and we'll use the command that it told us to run. So it looks like it basically told the iOS terminal or shell that we can access through Android Studio. Go to the iOS directory and open runner.xc workspace. And that was something that was created by, or when we created a new Flutter project automatically. So then it's going to give us some steps. In Xcode, click the top level runner in the left pane to show the general tab. So we're going to have a runner folder up here. And then we're going to see a pane open here. And in the general tab in the right pane is shown below, copy the bundle identifier. So we can see a bundle identifier. Input text is right here. So hopefully we'll have that. And it's called, for us, com.whereisdarren.babynames. So let's grab that into the iOS bundle field shown. So here we go. Let's see if we need App Store ID. Continuing in Firebase, follow the instructions to download the config file Google Service Info-plist. So that once we do that, then we get access to this file. We're going to save it. We're not going to open it in Xcode right now. And I think that's going to save it to our downloads directory, so we'll keep that over here handy. It's going to go in the background quickly because I want to see where we need to save that. So in Xcode, notice the runner has a subfolder called runner, as shown in the figure above. Okay, so the runner has a subfolder called runner. Drag the Google Service Info playlist file you just downloaded into that runner subfolder. In the Choose option for adding these folders dialog that appears, click Finish. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see, do we have a runner directory in here? We do. So we need to drag the Google plist in here. It pops this thing, and we go Finish. We just go, okay, I guess that's all good. Then it says go through the rest of this thing. I wonder if we need to follow these steps. I think I put in a pod file, but let's see if we have Firebase core. Ooh. Put one in. Let's see what the codelab says to do. Does it say skip the remaining steps? Okay, so we can skip the remaining steps here because we are in Flutter land. Okay, we're done. So now we're there. We've got one configured for Android and one configured for iOS. I wonder if our Android project ever built. No, it didn't. What's going on over here? We're in the run terminal, I think. Error launching application. Invalid arguments. Well, let's kick it off one more time and then we'll give up for that for now. Oh, I got an email? People are emailing me? Oh, I get emails. Uh-oh. Gotta pay someone. Okay, so we did that, we did that. You know what? I think we can build. We can build the app for iOS now. So I'm going to close this. Hopefully everything saves. Android's still going along. What did Flutter Doctor tell us? Doctor found 3 issues. Flutter plugin is not installed, so I've got 2 versions of IntelliJ on here, I think. I must have the community edition. Yeah, I do. And it said, hey, I didn't find Flutter, so I just need to remove that. And I've got a connected iOS toolchain developed for lib. So I've got to install these things. So let's install these. But I don't know if I actually need those for this action. So let's open our simulator. No, that one. This one. Ooh, it's installing, so maybe things went well this time. You never know. You never really know with these things. I can tell you, so while we're waiting, let's just push. We made some updates to our repo. I don't know what files need to be on the git ignore so far, but and yes, I know I shouldn't be putting these in to GitHub, but this Firebase project, okay, so we got to pull first. Hopefully things didn't get too worked out. And we've got a conflict. So what we can do with the workspace.xml is we can actually just probably nuke this one. Look out. Okay, it reloaded the workspace.xml. That's great. That's why you shouldn't check these kind of files into your source control. But that's okay. Gotta fix the conflicts. And we're pushing directly to master because this is just a program project. Our simulator got up. And here we go. We've got our baby names app. Something didn't work right because this should have baby names listed here. I don't know if we don't have an internet connection on this and it wasn't able to get it or something else. But let's deploy. And this thing's now all, you know, we're going to close this and reopen this Flutter project. That's not good news. I had this issue before where I couldn't get the old Flutter UI back. So now we've got to figure out how to do that. You know what I can do? And if I can somehow revert this workspace XML file. And this is the bits. If all else fails, invalidate cache and restart. We were so close. I wish I knew how to build Flutter from the command line and deploy it. We would deploy it straight right now. Let's rotate this. Still no baby names. Do we have baby names in our project? That's a good question. Let's go, Flutter Playground. Did our plugins get new? What's going on here? Had this issue before. I wish I remember how I fixed it. Okay, so I think that might have been it. So now it's going to do its little syncy thing. Flutter outline is something where if you open up a Flutter file, where is our main.dart here? It's under lib. I believe it will show you the outline of your source code in this, but maybe you have to have the app built and running first. Alright, so regardless, let's deploy this thing and see if it works. And let's go over to Firebase since we're not seeing the baby names. Check our database. We're using Firestore on this project. You shouldn't call your baby bird. Let me see if I can update that. Baby 1. That way you can just name your children based on when you have them. That's easier. You don't have to spend the time thinking of a baby name. Did anything change when we did that? You know what I bet happened? We wiped our Dart SDK location because we had checked in the Dart SDK location into source control, and when we came to this computer, that location was different. So it kind of worked our IDE. Hopefully, guys, we can get this running on Xcode shortly. I'm going to kill this baby name install here and see if redeploying it might ooh, it's pretty slow. See if redeploying it might reopening it might help. Then I'm going to go for a swim. So let's hope this works. I should have an app in here called Baby Names. I do. You know what? I don't have an internet connection. It doesn't look right. Why is this it? Sorry, it's so dark in here. Turn on some lights. So here we go. Let's open Baby Names again. See if it works. Loading. That's good. It's not. I wonder if I configured this device to use a proxy. And that's why we're getting no data. Let's check that out. Xcode building is really bringing some hurt on this old school laptop. But that's okay. So let's go click the network tab there and see if we made a configuration change over here. It would be mobile network. And then over here you can actually set up a VPN or a proxy. So we've got no proxy. This is good. Do we have anything under advanced settings here that might be anything? Nope. So that all looks good. So we're good there. One last check. Let's see if Chrome can build or Chrome can access a website. Okay, new tab. It's chugging along. One day it will. I've got voice activated lights, but I'm not sure if, actually, to be quite honest, how to use them. I can turn them on and off, but the last, great. This is the typical web portal experience. Just kidding. So let's try to sign in again. Are we done building yet? Come on, man. And this thing is still asking me questions? Fudge. Google Chrome, man, Chrome, you're getting so you're getting so bloated and naggy. Why are you like that, Google Chrome? I don't know. Why did you get so naggy and bloated? Look, it pops up something else right there. That's like 3 things that we've had to click just to use this web browser. Please. That was for the keyboard though. Oh man, you're so naggy. What's going on here? Come on, let's go. You can do it. So I don't think the internet's working on this device thing. Yeah, so that's why we didn't get any baby names. And then that pops up every time I need a new tab. Let's see how can we do that. That was right here. Xcode still building. So the project that I'm working on is a Firebase for Flutter codelab. If you're interested, I'll tweet it. I'm going to tweet it on Twitter. Tweet it on Twitter. Let's put Party Parrot in here. The original Party Parrot. Ooh, maybe not. Some of these are pretty good. Birds are pretty funny, that's for sure. Hamburger parrot. That renders horribly. But anyways, Twitter, where is Darren? I put that up there. That's the codelab that we're working on, or that we should have just finished. Why do I keep clicking that? And it looks like, okay, so it deployed successfully to the iOS simulator. We had an issue with the Android simulator internet. And now you can see each time we click one of these rows, it's got a little ripple effect. The other thing that you get for iOS with Flutter is you get the list view behaviors. Like, so over scroll in Android is basically you get the kind of like dimples that come in down here, and you get the bounce effect on iOS. But anyway, so we've got Baby 1, which you just saw me update in Firebase over there. And we can see that Baby 1 has 22 votes and Dana has 23. And those are the number of times we've clicked each name on both Android and iOS. So we've got our iOS app building correctly. We've got our Android app building correctly. And these are really just, and you can see here we can also get a huge tree of our Flutter views. So if you wanted to do some inspection, I don't know if it'll show it to you in the no, it doesn't highlight it in here, but that's okay. But maybe I wonder if we can even somehow search for the baby names. I don't think we can. Can we do Baby 1? No, that would be cool though. If we could just start typing Baby 1, it will tell us what parent this is. But that's okay. We're doing well. And that's all I wanted to show you guys today. I wanted to get that working and prove that it worked. And it did. So that's good news. The next thing I'm going to be working on is basically a marketplace app for Flutter for iOS and Android, and then Android and iOS, and then hopefully getting some kind of payments integration. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.